Hearing number 8196 is a conditional use revocation hearing regarding 5400 Partridge. During the hearings today, your testimony is being recorded. If you come forward to testify, please state your name and address and be sworn in. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following the hearings today, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the agenda, the board will deliberate and vote on the hearing. The board will notify the permit holders of its decision by mail. Hearing number 8196, which hearing began on April 18, 2017, is set now on August 14, 2018, after the matter had been tabled to allow the conditional use permit violations to be addressed. It is conducted pursuant to Section 26.100.030 of the Revised Code of the City of St. Louis. The purpose of the hearing is to determine whether the conditional use permit issued to Shark and Deli, CO Abed Ahmed, to occupy 5400 Partridge as a convenience store and carry-out restaurant, no liquor or cooking, subject to certain conditions, should be revoked. The conditional use permit is numbered as 122542. In a certified letter dated July 17, 2018, to Shark and Deli, CO Abed Ahmed, 2 violations of the condition permit numbered 122542 were listed. Specifically, violations of conditions numbered 5 and 6. On July 26, 2017, the following 2 conditions numbered 5 and 6 were found to be in violation by zoning inspector Myra Turner. They read as follows. Condition 5, there shall be no sale of items that can be used or intended for the use as drug paraphernalia as defined in Ordinance 68404 or its successor ordinances, including but not limited to food scales, glass tubes, disposable lighters with pop-off tops, steel scrubbing pads and screens, rolling papers, ephedrine or pseudoephedrine, diet supplements, sleep aids, bath salts, or other substances for illegal drugs. In addition, there shall be no sale of cigars or cigarillos commonly used or adapted for use involving a controlled substance, examples of which include but are not limited to the following: Phillies, Dutch Masters, White Owl, Swisher Sweets, Splitterillos, Backwoods, Optimo and Garcia, and Vega, and Game. Condition 6, there should be no loitering, for which the applicant must post a no loitering sign and enforce it. The Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a certified copy of Section 26.100.030 of the Zoning Code of the City of St. Louis. Item 2, the conditional use permit numbered 122542, issued to Shark and Deli, CO Abed Ahmed, to occupy 5400 Partridge as a convenience store and carry-out restaurant store, no liquor or cooking, subject to certain conditions. Item 3, a letter dated December 23, 2016, sent to Shark and Deli, CO Abed Ahmed, from the zoning inspector warning of the violations of conditions numbered 4, 5, 6, 9, and 11 that were found upon a recent site inspection, and the potential for a revocation hearing should the violations not be corrected within 30 days of the date of the letter. A letter dated July 17, 2018, from the Secretary of the Board of Public Service providing notice of the hearing date to consider the revocation of conditional use permit number 122542 and stating the hearing date to consider the revocation of conditional use permit number 122542 and stating that conditions numbered 5 and 6 were found to be in violation and will be the subject of the revocation hearing on August 14, 2018. Item 4, a memorandum from the zoning inspector to the zoning administrator dated June 26, 2017, finding conditions numbered 5 and 6 of the conditional use permit still in violation, and previous memoranda from the zoning inspector to the zoning administrator. Item 5, public notices for today's hearing. And item 6, a certified letter dated July 17, 2018, sent to Shark Deli CO Abed Ahmed to Amir Diab from the board secretary providing notice of today's hearing. The Office of the Zoning Administrator has the burden to prove the conditional use permit conditions have not been complied with. After all evidence of the zoning administrator has been presented to the board will ask for additional testimony, if any, in support of the revocation. Then the conditional use holder will be given the opportunity to present evidence. Lastly, the board will hear other testimony in opposition to the revocation, if any. The board asks the representative of the Office of the Zoning Administrator to please come forward and be sworn in.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name for the board, please.
Myra Turner, zoning inspector for the city of St. Louis. Good afternoon. All right. This one has been a long time, but he has been a very cooperative person to work with. As of today's reinspection, when I got there this morning, he was not there. He had to get some stuff for the shop. He was not there, so I couldn't get into the building. However, I could see through the window, and the area in which he had the cigars no longer had cigars. It had some potato chips in the cans in there. But I was not able to get into the building so I could take the pictures. He originally had asked to have this condition amended for prepackaged only, but he decided that he doesn't want to do tobacco at all. And then it wasn't 6 that should have been there. It should have been number 11. From the other hearing, it should have been number 11, because the number 11 was all windows and doors must have no boards, mesh, grates, materials, or covering of any kind. Windows and doors may have proper blinds on the inside of the windows, and he does have grates on the windows and doors. But I'm going to appeal to the board because of where this business sits in the neighborhood. It's basically a safety precaution to keep somebody from breaking in and taking everything that this man has in there. So, yes, he does have the grates on the windows, but as being an inspector and being there and looking at the area, and I know the area because I'm there, it's basically so that he can maintain his business, because if he didn't have it like that on the doors and windows, anybody could just break it and go in there and just take everything, and then he still wouldn't have anything. So I wanted to just let the board know that, yes, they are there, but there's a protective reason why he has that on his building.
Okay. So just a couple of questions. So he did resolve the issue with condition number 6?
Yes, number 6 was taken care of prior to.
And so just to go back to number 5, I want to be clear on this, because he has this whole condition that is in his permit provided by zoning, right?
Right.
And so he asked for this to condition to be amended to prepackaged cigars only. Was that approved by zoning?
No.
So we're still in violation if he has those items out.
But he does not have them out. He would be in violation if he had them out, but he doesn't.
He does not.
No, he does not.
Okay. So we have no issue with condition number 5.
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Questions from the board? Thank you. At this time, the board asks a representative from the Department of Health to please come forward and testify.
I do. My name is Adam Wario, and I'm from Department of Health Food Control Division. And the establishment had a food permit with us since March 14, 2016. And when we first did an opening and inspection, we have not found any critical violations, and we approved their application. And also, until to date, we have not received any complaint about food-related complaint about these facilities. And the second inspection was conducted on May 11, 2016, and there was no critical violations. And however, we found one non-critical violation on that day, and the wall behind the grill was not clean, and we advised the person in charge to clean it. And also, we conducted another inspection on October 17, 2016. And this is a medium risk facility, and we do 3 times of an inspection a year. And so we went back on October 17, 2016. On this inspection, we found one critical violation. There was a sliced tomato and fish and chicken without the date label in cooler. And the ordinance states that any sliced portion of food should be dated and labeled, and must be kept in refrigerator. And if it's not kept in freezer, it should be discarded within 7 days. So there was no label, and we recommended, since the person in charge couldn't provide us with a date, we recommended the slice of tomatoes not to be served. And on April 14, 2017, we did an inspection. On this inspection, we found one critical violation, which is spoiled catfish with foul odor, and we advised the person in charge to discard it, and then he did discard it. And we found one non-critical violation, which is the floor was not cleaned, and we advised the person in charge to clean the floor. And we told him that the facility should be clean. And then on April 19, 2017, we re-inspected because of that spoiled fish, to make sure they are keeping the potentially hazardous food to desirable temperature, which is below 41. And when we went back, they fixed the freezer, and the temperature was okay. And we did a routine inspection on September 13, 2017, and we have not found any critical violation, but the fan in the cooler, freezer, was not working, and we advised the person in charge to fix it, and that was not critical violation. We did not go back to re-inspect it, but we came back for routine inspection on March 9, 2018. And on March 9, 2018, again, we found one critical violation, which is raw chicken was stored above the ready-to-eat food, which is not right according to our ordinance, and which is the blood could drip down to the ready-to-eat food. We advised them, and they corrected that violation on the spot. And we found, at the same day, we found non-critical violation, hair restraints were not worn by employees. We advised them to do that. And the last inspection was done on July 24th. And one critical violation was found, which is in the hand wash sink. They dumped paper towel in that sink. They should have put a paper towel, used a paper towel in a bin. So we advised them not to do it, and they corrected that on the spot. And so there is no outstanding violation for the facility. And we also did the community health, sanitation, and inspection yesterday, and no issue were observed along the building line, parking lot, sidewalk, street, or alley. And commercial waste containers were in good condition. And however, in the alley, there were waste accumulated in the alley. And we informed the general manager, and he stated that he's not aware of it. And so we went back today and to see if it was cleaned. And in fact, he did clean it. And this is the information, the report we have for this facility.
Questions for the health inspector?
I have one question, President. So at this facility, at this business, there's cooking going on? They cook, there's cooking?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I have a follow-up question from my returner.
Yep.
My question was the same, because I thought in the conditional use, it sounded like it was a non-cooking facility.
That's where I'm going, yeah. And they're not here to answer for that today, but it's something that needs to be cleared up if it needs to be cleared up.
Okay. Other questions from the board? Thank you. If there's anyone else present at this time who wishes to testify in support of the revocation, please come forward and be sworn in. Seeing none, the board asks the conditional use permit holder to please come forward and be sworn in.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you state your name for the board, please?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Abad Ahmed,
Would you state your address, please?
5400 Partridge Avenue, owner of Shark and Deli, convenience store and carry-out restaurant. I'm here for the two issue we have, which is number 5 and 6. About number 5, we stopped doing tobacco at all, and I'm not gonna sell it anyway. And number 6, about the lantern sign outside, I do have 4 signs since we opened 3 years ago. And about the boards and the windows, we have to have these ones here because since we opened 3 years ago, we've been breaking like about 5 times already. Yes. Other than that, that's the only issue. And I just want to make sure no tobacco sold in the stores and everything else, it's done right.
So concerning condition number 11, you're requesting that the board consider amending that condition to allow you to leave the grates on the windows?
Correct. So we have to have them there.
Got it.
Yes.
Questions for the conditional use permit holder from the board? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If there's anyone else present opposing this revocation that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Seeing none, I would like to add the zoning inspector's report presented today as additional evidence. Item A, the matter concerning hearing number 8196 is now closed and submitted. The board will move on to its regular agenda.
Thank you. They
also wanted to ask Myra some additional questions.
You do.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we call the zoning inspector back up, please? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, could you tell me if the permit, the number permit that we're here to talk about today, is it a no cooking permit? Is that a condition
No.
of the permit?
No.
There were some items entered into the record that seemed to indicate it was a no cooking permit, so we just wanted to see if that's something that needed to be.
No, because it is a convenience store and carry-out restaurant.
Okay, so there's nothing, cooking is fine there?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Other questions? Thank you.
And also take pictures, if everything from the store, in the shelves. Make sure it's clean, no tobaccos, no nothing. If you want to see any pictures, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions? Thank you. The matter concerning hearing number 8196 is now closed and submitted. The board will now move on to its regular agenda. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie. Here. Director Wilson.
Here.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin is excused. Director Aragy.
Here.
Director Edwards. Here. And President Bradley.
Here we have a quorum. We'll call a meeting to order.
From the President, contract and bond for letting number 8669 Forest Park Dual Path Extension, Kings Highway Corridor, project number R 2016-83088, St. Louis, Missouri. Contract and bond for letting number 8671 Pedestrian Street Lights, project number R 2017-71001, St. Louis, Missouri. Professional Service Agreement 1219, Hall Street Reconstruction, Phase 1, St. Louis, Missouri. Federal Project Number STP 5404603. Recommendation that the Board declares as emergency action Ward 26 surveillance cameras, various locations, St. Louis, Missouri. Recommendation that the Board declares as emergency Ward 21 surveillance cameras. I'm sorry, this is the same thing. Recommendation that the Board declares as emergency work orders issued for the month of January 2018 by the Department of the President and Facilities Management Division, Board of Public Service for emergency work and repairs requiring prompt attention be approved. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the Board declares as an emergency to make repairs to a exposed and leaking 36-inch diameter coupling on 36-inch main. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following permits for AT&T be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Starting at the existing manhole located on North Spring Avenue, 25 feet north of Palm, place cable going east 252 feet, then north unto the property at 3616 Natural Bridge. And starting at existing handhold at 1613 Park Avenue, northeast corner of Park and Truman Parkway, board north along Truman Parkway, 520 feet, and place a new handhold at 1330 Dolman to service a customer at this address. From the Director of Public Utilities and Public Safety, joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Jubilee Community Church for a lot consolidation at 3616 Carter and 4231 North Grand in City Block 2485. Alex Oliver for a boundary adjustment at 3017, 3029, 3017 Lafayette, and 3034 through 38 Henrietta in City Block 2127. Sanford Home LLC to subdivide land at 3221 Regal Place in City Block 4753 West. From the Director of Public Safety, recommendation that the following festival zones be approved, subject to certain conditions as follows. Bread of Gospel Festival, August 25th, 2018, at Prairie between Page and Evans. Four Hands, August 29th, 2018, Rick and Morty at 8th and Hickory. Lou Fest, September 7th through 9th, 2018, in Forest Park, Festival Plaza and Upper Muni Grounds. And Perpetual Home Supportive Services ITP Walk, September 15, 2018, walk the Carondelet Park and Pavilion near Boathouse. Recommends approval. Now we have the conditional uses.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Terrell Island, zoning plan examiner for the city of St. Louis, representing the building commissioner. For board order number 766, transmit herewith their recommendations for the following conditional use applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 9 applications, and they are 4555 Page, 2570 Palm, 5718 Bancroft Avenue, 5411 Cologne, 3736 Ohio Avenue, 4101 St. Louis Avenue, 1107 North Kings Highway Boulevard, 2330 Menard Street, and 5101 Hampton Avenue. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted. Are there any questions or comments about the conditional uses?
Are there any questions on the conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
I move to approve the conditional uses as recommended.
Second.
Moved and second for approval of the conditional uses. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustine is excused. Director Aragy.
Aye.
Director Edwards.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, conditional uses are approved. Hearing number 8196 for 5400 Partridge as a convenience store, carry-out restaurant with no liquor outside storage. We had 2 conditions that were noted as issues. Condition 6 had been resolved previously. Condition 5 is no longer an issue because those items are no longer there. We have a new item to consider today, which is item 11, which is grates on the windows, and it was requested or recommended by the zoning inspector as well as requested by the conditional use holder. We allow the amended permit to have grates on the windows due to the neighborhood and break-ins from in the past. And so I would like to open the floor for discussion from the board.
Mr. President, just for the record, with respect to violation 11, do we have the authority to make exceptions for specific violations?
I believe we do. I would defer to city councilor for clarification on that, but I believe in a situation like that, we could use our authority to amend that condition.
Yeah, I believe any amendment or change would have to be approved by this body. Now, whether the zoning administrator feels like this was enough process for him to request it, or if she has another desire that he be required to fill out something, I think that he made the request here, and she was able to respond to it and prepared to make a recommendation, which she did.
Additional questions or conversations? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion, please.
I move to amend the conditional use permit to allow for grates over the windows.
We have an amendment proposed. Do I have a second?
Second.
And assuming that that motion would also take into account a non-revocation, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any additional questions or comments? Seeing none, can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustine is excused. Director Aragy.
Aye.
Director Edwards.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, amended and not revoked. Addendum number 1 on the agenda. Are there any questions or comments about the addendum? Seeing none, take a motion, please.
Move to approve the addendum.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustine is excused. Director Aragy.
Aye.
Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye, the addendum's approved. Today's agenda, questions or comments on the agenda?
I'd move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval of today's agenda. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin is excused. Director Aragy.
Aye.
Director Edwards.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, today's agenda is approved. I'd like to go back and turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Questions or comments on the minutes? Seeing none, take a motion, please.
I'd move to approve last week's minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin is excused. Director Aragy.
Aye.
Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye, last week's minutes are approved. Motion for adjournment, please.
I move we adjourn.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Okay.